the impact of pollution on our planet and health. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most critical topics of our time, the environment, and how pollution and waste are slowly but surely eroding the very foundation of life on Earth. This issue affects not just the planet, but every living being, humans, animals, and the ecosystems we all depend on. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's explore how pollution is impacting the Earth, and what we can do to change the course of our future. Our environment is under siege. From sprawling landfills to polluted rivers and skies choked with smog, human activity is taking a heavy toll. Let's start with air pollution. Did you know that about 7 million people die each year due to air pollution? Factories, vehicles, and the burning of fossil fuels release harmful gases like carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen oxides into the air. This contributes to global warming and creates respiratory illnesses like asthma and bronchitis. Water pollution is next. Over 80% of the wastewater globally is dumped back into the environment untreated. Rivers and oceans are filled with chemicals, plastics, and untreated waste, which not only poisons aquatic life, but also enters the human food chain through seafood. Land pollution is even worse. Landfills are overflowing with waste that takes centuries to decompose. Plastics, for instance, take up to 500 years to break down, and even then, they leave behind microplastics that contaminate soil and water. Each of these pollutants not only damages ecosystems, but also leads to long-term effects on biodiversity, agriculture, and even climate stability. But what is the impact on human health? Pollution doesn't just harm the planet, it also directly affects our health in ways you might not expect. Air pollution is a silent killer. They cause respiratory and cardiovascular diseases. Tiny particles called PM2.5 penetrate deep into our lungs and bloodstream, causing diseases like lung cancer, heart disease, and strokes. Polluted water is also responsible for diseases like cholera, diarrhea, and typhoid, which claim hundreds of thousands of lives each year, especially in developing countries. Toxic chemicals like pesticides, heavy metals, and industrial pollutants are known carcinogens. Exposure to these substances through water, food, or air significantly increases the risk of cancer. It's not just physical health. Living in polluted areas has been linked to higher stress levels, depression, and anxiety, especially among children growing up in urban areas with poor air quality. The costs aren't just personal, they're economic. Billions of dollars are spent every year on healthcare costs related to pollution-induced illnesses. The toll on wildlife and ecosystems. Let's not forget that humans aren't the only ones suffering. Animals and ecosystems bear the brunt of pollution too. Every year, millions of animals die because of plastic. Sea turtles mistake plastic bags for jellyfish. Birds get entangled in fishing nets, and microplastics even show up in the stomachs of fish. Industrial waste and deforestation are destroying natural habitats at an alarming rate. This is pushing countless species, like elephants, tigers, and polar bears toward extinction. Pollutants, like mercury and pesticides, accumulate in the food chain, causing reproductive issues and diseases in animals. Top predators like sharks, eagles, and even humans face the highest exposure. Healthy ecosystems are essential for life on Earth. They regulate our climate, purifying water, and pollinate crops. Destroying them means destroying the natural systems we depend on. How does the environmental destruction lead to illness? The connection between environmental degradation and health problems goes deeper than pollution alone. Climate change and disease have a direct connection. Rising temperatures create the perfect conditions for diseases like malaria and dengue to spread. Melting permafrost is even releasing ancient viruses that humanity has no immunity against. Food contamination is from polluted soil and water, meaning that the food we eat contains harmful chemicals. For example, heavy metals in water seep into crops, and plastic particles make their way into our drinking water. Mental and emotional stress is another health risk caused by living in polluted environments or areas prone to natural disasters caused by climate change like floods, hurricanes, and droughts. It takes a toll on mental health, leading to higher rates of PTSD and anxiety. This isn't just about personal choices, it's a systemic issue that requires global attention. The ocean. a dumping ground for plastics. Our oceans and seas, which cover more than 70% of the Earth's surface, are essential to life on this planet. They regulate our climate, produce oxygen, and provide food and livelihoods for billions of people. However, they are under severe threat from pollution, particularly plastic waste. Every year, over 8 million tons of plastic enter the oceans. That's equivalent to dumping a garbage truck full of plastic into the water every single minute. From bottles and bags to fishing gear and microplastics, this waste is wreaking havoc on marine ecosystems. According to scientists, if current trends continue, by 2050, the oceans will contain more plastic by weight than fish. This shocking projection highlights the severity of the issue. Did you know about the Great Pacific Garbage Patch? One of the most glaring examples of ocean pollution is the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a massive floating island of trash located between Hawaii and California. This continent of plastic is approximately 2,500 kilometers in diameter and area, larger than France. It contains an estimated 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic, ranging from large fishing nets to microplastics smaller than a grain of rice. Ocean currents, known as dewars, trap plastic debris, creating these massive patches. What's even more alarming is that this is just one of several garbage patches in our oceans. Similar zones exist in the Atlantic and Indian Oceans, and they're growing rapidly. Plastic pollution doesn't just float harmlessly on the surface, it's devastating to marine ecosystems and wildlife. Entanglement of animals like turtles, seals, and seabirds often get trapped in discarded fishing nets, ropes, and other debris, leading to injury or death. Ingestion of microplastics by many marine creatures such as sea turtles that eat plastic bags thinking they're jellyfish, and fish consume tiny microplastics that resemble plankton. This can lead to malnutrition, internal injuries, and even death. Chemical contamination by plastics leaching harmful chemicals into the water, which are absorbed by marine life. These chemicals travel up the food chain, eventually reaching humans. Microplastics, the invisible threat. Microplastics, tiny plastic particles less than 5 millimeters in size, are particularly dangerous because they are virtually impossible to remove from the water. These come from larger plastics breaking down, as well as microbeads found in products like toothpaste and cosmetics. Microplastics are ingested by small fish and shellfish, which are then eaten by larger predators, and, ultimately, by humans. Studies have shown that microplastics can cause inflammation, disrupt hormones, and potentially carry toxic chemicals. The domino effect on humans and the planet. The effects of ocean pollution extend far beyond the marine environment. Plastics, and the toxic chemicals they carry, are making their way onto our plates, posing serious health risks. Pollution impacts industries like fishing and tourism. Coral reefs, a major tourist attraction and crucial marine habitat, are suffocating under layers of plastic. The destruction of marine ecosystems, such as phytoplankton, which absorb carbon dioxide and produce oxygen, accelerates global warming, turning the tide, solutions to ocean pollution. The crisis may seem overwhelming, but there are actions we can take to reverse the damage. Reduce plastic usage. Governments and individuals must work to eliminate single-use plastics like straws, bags, and cutlery. Improve waste management. Proper disposal and recycling can prevent plastics from reaching the ocean. Support cleanup efforts. Initiatives like the Ocean Cleanup Project are working to remove plastic from garbage patches and prevent more waste from entering the oceans. Raise awareness. Educating people about the impact of plastic pollution can inspire collective action. In conclusion, the Earth is our only home, and every single one of us has a role to play in protecting it. Pollution and waste are not just environmental issues, they are threats to our health, our ecosystems, and the future of life on this planet. The good news is that we have the knowledge, the tools, and the power to make a change. It starts with small steps, like using less plastic, conserving energy, and spreading awareness. Together, these actions create a ripple effect that can transform the future for generations to come. The image of an ocean teeming with more plastic than fish by 2050 is not just a warning, it's a call to action. Our oceans and seas are a vital resource for life on Earth, and they deserve our protection. By making conscious choices, supporting sustainable policies, and spreading awareness, we can turn the tide against ocean pollution and ensure a healthier, cleaner planet for future generations. Let's remember, the fight to save our oceans is a fight to save ourselves. Together, we can make a difference. Let's not wait until it's too late. Let's take action today, for ourselves, for the animals, and for the beautiful planet we all call home. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.